Shay here, unboxing Merchants of the Dark Road from Elf Creek Games, designed by Brian Suhre. Probably Suhre, maybe just Sir. So, of course, in a world with magical creatures and monsters, wizards and heroes, what are we doing? We're trying to make a buck. And when it's dark outside and nobody wants to travel around, profits are higher. Okay, why did I even get this game? Well, I was at PAX Unplugged, and I looked at a bunch of games there. I was hoping to buy something to bring home. And you know what? I wasn't really impressed by stuff. So the box is nice, and the inside even has, like, all the art glommed together, probably pictures of all the characters in black and white. Nice touch. Okay, and here's the rule book. So, I played a bunch of games, and I wasn't super impressed. I mean, many of them were very good games, I'm sure. And I probably skipped some of the games that were even better. But the ones that I played either weren't for me, even though they were good games, or I just didn't like them. And then I saw this. I took a quick look on Board Game Geek and said, wow, this only looks cool, even if you don't get all the bling. It just came out on Kickstarter, and I did not buy. This is the retail version, not the blingy version. The blingy version is a lot of bling. So I picked it up. And based on reviews I've looked at, it looks like I probably made a good choice. I'm hoping to try it soon. Here are the rules. On the frozen world of Lumi, well, basically, in the winter, it's dark for all 13 weeks. So there's a 6-piece kingdom board. Each player has their own wagon and upgrade tiles, a screen to hide your stuff from the other players for player aids, some wagon pawns and prestige markers that you move around, and a market wheel. Basically, in the game, you get money and prestige, and the lower one is your base score. Then you add some bonus points to see who wins. So you can't just make a pile of money or just be the famous guy who's penniless. There are hero cards, magical companions, semi-magical horses, deeds, who knows what, event cards, commission tiles, special things you can get done, double-sided building tiles, the dark market and the ruins of yin markers, some blazing quartz, some lanterns to light the way, horseshoe tokens, probably to help you move, goods, and notice that the goods, we'll get to that, the goods are in different shapes, and that matters, because your wagon has a geographic space you have to arrange your goods in. Some dice, Ruin, 8 illuminated, 5 market, 28 night dice, an oracle, travel dice, and coins. The metal ones are spectacular, but the cardboard ones are pretty colorful too. Then there's some solo play components, including its own rule book, special delivery tiles, private concern, sarcophaguses. I guess it's more dangerous to play solo. So the rules go through the rather long setup as you put together the kingdom, resource pools, put up the buildings, open the bazaar, arrange the commissions, set up the ruins, set up the events, stack the upgrades, get a companion or two and more available, set up the dark market, and go to the inn where you can get some heroes and identify some good deeds players can do. Then the players set up their own personal boards. Basically, you get a wagon pawn, prestige marker, some coins, 7 night dice, and 1 illuminated die you start with. Get a deed card, a horseshoe, some starting goods, which depends on position, and then the player order. You get some other stuff if you're not one of the first players. You get more stuff, less if you're the first player. And you get a random hero card. Heroes are important. Then you play the game. So, basically, in the turn, plan using one of your dice, move your wagon around, activate the districts that your wagon visits, perform upkeep or rest, okay? So it involves moving dice to decide which actions you're going to take, depending on the slot you put it in. Then you're going to move your wagon, and you act based on the movements, okay, in the different districts. And there's some bonus districts. Then you rest and There's market dice, companion cards, hero cards, and deed cards that might come up. The Great Bazaar, you spend money to buy goods. The Queen's Commissions, you take commissions, special contracts that you execute to get things to happen. You have to go to another town through the dark to get there. The Dark Market, where you go to get stuff, maybe not totally legit and paying full price. You go to the inn, that's where you sell stuff to the heroes, and also get them to come along for the ride. You'll deliver them to their home. And of course, who doesn't want to have an extra hero, especially a paying hero, on their wagon? Yours Excursions is where you plan your trips out of town. You could visit the ruins of Yin, get some extra stuff, hopefully. The outlying towns, you put together a caravan. There'll be an event, maybe, depending on whether you take the Dark Road or a shortcut. You know how shortcuts usually work out in fantasy games? I'm sure it's about the same here. You can visit some towns, delivering a commission, delivering a hero, and then you might get some good fortune. The game ends after 13 rounds. A round is one of the 13 weeks of darkness, and then the players use their only night die that they have left, and it's all done. You final scoring, so you reveal and count up your coins and prestige and completed deeds that give you coins or prestige, add them all together. Then the lower of the two values is your base score. You get some victory points, reveal completed deeds that give you victory points that are separate from the coins and prestige, and add them to your total, and illuminated dice that you don't use give you a victory point, and then your final score. Highest final score wins. Ties are broken based on highest discarded base score, in other words, when you didn't use. Most gifts on loyal companions, most commissions delivered, most heroes delivered, and then if that doesn't break the tie, well, you're tied. So then there's an example of a travel in the rule book, a drafting variant, private concerns, how the buildings all work, how the companions work, and you give them blazing quartz and they do stuff for you. Deeds, events, steeds, your mighty horse, which gives you a different thing. The wagons, overview. So your wagon will hold commissions, store goods, and they have to fit. You could have lanterns, up to 4 here. You have some heroes riding along, up to 3 apparently. Inventory resources, horseshoes, I think improvements, right? But you're limited to 3 resources. Your dice go over here, and then you play them there, and then they go off. You can upgrade your wagon to make it better. There are benefits to traveling to the 6 different places, and that's the game. There's an icon glossary on the back, because there's a lot of icons, but they're pretty straightforward, I think. And a travel summary, because that's the action that's the most complicated. Alright, so let's look at the other components here. Plastic bags, that's not very exciting. These are the wooden wagons, 4 for the players, and I think this gray one is in the solo mode for your solo imaginary appointment. These dice are, I think, well, let's see which dice they are. That's the travel die. No, those are the 5 travel dice. This is the Oracle die. No, that's the Ruins die. Over here, we have the 28 Night dice. Oh, I'm sorry, there's 2 packets. It should hopefully be 14. So there's the 28 Night dice. The 5 Market dice and the Oracle die. I think that's all the dice. Oh, wait. And the 8 Illuminated die. Right. Get the cards in a minute. No, maybe we'll get the cards now. Yeah. These are the smaller cards, which have heroes. I guess that's a wizard, a bunch of heroes. Some deeds. It's 19 of those. And maybe not sure who these are. They're not the heroes. They might be... Oh, there's the sarcophagus cards for the solo mode. Those are the small cards. The medium cards have the 22 companions, snow bees, phoenixes, ice mouses, cave dragons, ravens. Alright. Then, oops. Yes, then your horses. And each horse gives you a special ability. And they're all different. These are the private concern cards for the solo game. And guild notice. Okay, those are also for the solo game. I think those are special conditions. The last set of cards are... I did that without bleeding. These include the event cards. And I think some player aid cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where to find things. And yes, Guide to Traveling Lumi. There's a smaller booklet with the solo rules and adventures. So solo game components, how that works. In adventure mode, 2 adventures played separately, and an adventure is 4 consecutive games with different things going on. So there's some special rules, and you play the games. Wow. Alright. Oh, very interesting. Okay, and then now the rest of the components are the single shrink wrap. Oh, and the bottom of the box, the back of the box. The box is quite heavy cardboard, by the way. The back of the... I guess they didn't ignore the back of anything. So as you can see, the player wagons have a space for things. It's not recessed. That would be on the deluxe version. You can buy them recessed as a separate thing. I didn't invest in any of that stuff. And the player colors are quite muted, but I don't think it matters very much. All the wagons are the same. The back is how you could play. I think that's the solo mode on the back of each wagon. The players have their with their player colors on them, still muted, the shield to hide things, and it has a player summary on here for each player. And the artwork for each player is actually different. Could be from some of the cards, but as you can see, the production values are quite nice. Here's one of the map pieces. The Queen's commissions all get put on there. The Great Bazaar goes here. There'll be a spinny wheel. I guess we'll see that soon, the Great Bazaar. The Ringway Inn, where you get heroes and how to get them. The outlying towns, this one and this one, and the Ruins of Yin, where variable things happen, and I think there's a piece that moves around here when you go there. I think these are the buildings, 50-point plus markers for each of the players, some items. This is the market wheel, which in the deluxe version I'm sure has a hole in the middle and you can do a thing, but here it just goes on and then you rotate it to show the change in costs and values of different items. Okay, and probably subject to manipulation. And these are double-sided. This is Otho's Lantern Works on one side. On the other side, it's the Guildmaster's Mansion. The crystals, the horseshoes, a different horseshoe. These are, they're things on the back, but they're the commissions, on the other side. So where the commissions go and what you have to deliver. Okay, and then once you get this out of the way carefully, these are coming right out. Cardboard is pretty thick. Okay, it's thicker than average, not super heavy. Here are the goods and the coins. Now, I wasn't even sure about that. Metallic ink on all the goods. Okay, the coins are extremely colorful. I'm not sure what the values are. I guess that's probably a 1. Maybe it says on the other side. Oh yeah, 10 and 5. The goods are because the goods come in a common form on this side, unmetallic, and an upgraded form. And how do you tell the difference? Well, they're gold colored. Okay. Then there's more lanterns, fire crystals, money, and another sheet which seems to be the same. Well, no, it's slightly different. These are slightly different things to get, but it's very similar. And the last piece of the board, which is the dark market, where you go to get stuff. Although I don't think it helps your reputation. And your excursion, when you want to get out of town with your wagon full of goods and heroes and companions and deliver them somewhere. Now, as I understand it, and I didn't say this during the thing, one of the things that happens in this game is when you leave town to make a delivery, your fellow merchants can tag along and take advantage of your ability. I think there's something in it for you too, but there's something in it for them. So it seems like an interesting game with fun-sounding mechanics. I know we didn't get into it too much here, but there's a lot of interacting pieces, and I'm looking forward to giving it a try really soon. So, and when I bought it, they threw in sleeves for all the cards. I'm not sure that'll be available at every retail thing that you get it, but I had bought it at PAX Unplugged, and they'd just gotten their items in. I think they'd shipped them out to the backers. I'm not sure the backers had received many of them yet, but they had some for sale, and I decided I would buy one and take a chance. And I'm happy I did, because it looks like a lot of fun. Well, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for my next unboxings. I'm backed up a little bit, but I wanted to get this one out ahead of some other things in the queue, just because. So, bye for now.